Our top story this hour is coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. 2 soldiers were killed in action in a terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Baramulla. 2 porters were also killed in this attack, while 3 others are being reported to be injured. The Indian Army's Chinar Corps in a post on X confirmed an exchange of fire happened between soldiers and terrorists in the general area of Baramulla's Butapathri. Terrorists first attacked an army vehicle in Butapathri this evening. The attack comes hours after a labourer was shot at and injured in Jammu and Kashmir. The injured man was later identified as Preetham Singh, a resident of Uttar Pradesh.
ये बुज़दिल पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादी भारतीय सेना के जांबाज वीरों का आमना सामना तो कर नहीं सकते, रात के अंधेरे में छिपकर इन कायर आतंकवादियों ने सेना के वाहन को निशाना बनाया है। इस सारे क्षेत्र में सेना और पुलिस ने घेराबंदी की है। सर्च ऑपरेशन शुरू कर दिया गया है। इन आतंकवादियों को इनके गुनाहों की, इनके पापों की भारी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी।
This evening, there was an attack on an army vehicle. Army has termed it as an exchange of fire between militants and the security force in a place called the Butapathri, which is almost half an hour from Gulmarg area. It is in Baramulla district. Also, if we say it is not far away from the line of control as well. But this is first such incident I have heard in the last 30 years in this particular area. This has been free from any sort of militancy all these years. And in fact, even the civilian movement in this particular area is restricted. If I want to go there without army permission, one can't enter this area. There has a check post, but there has been attack and there have been 4 casualties. 2 army soldiers have been killed in action. 2 civilian porters working with the army have also been killed. 3 soldiers are injured. Reinforcement has been rushed to the area, but clearly during the night, not much can be said and not much can be done as well. But this is part of the series of attacks on the army in Jammu and Kashmir. Particularly, most of those attacks were taking place in Jammu region, but we see now there have been attacks in Kashmir Valley as well. And this is the second major attack in the valley in last 4 days. Earlier, it was an attack on the construction workers of a tunnel in Gagangir in Gandharbal district, where 7 innocent people, including a doctor, were killed. And now we see this major attack on army, and in Butapathri area, Baramulla district. All the political leaders have condemned this incident. The incident, including Chief Minister Umar Abdullah, has put out a tweet. Today, there was also a meeting of the unified headquarters, which was chaired by the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha. Top army officials, paramilitary and police officials attend the meeting to devise the mechanism how to deal with this spurt of attacks in Jammu and Kashmir.
Red warning has been issued for heavy to very heavy rainfall in 7 districts of Odisha, which includes Cuttack, Mayurbhanj, Kendrapada and Bhadrak. Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Charan Maji, who reviewed the state government's preparedness, said that only 30% of the people, or around 3 to 4 lakh people living in the identified danger zone, have been evacuated. Flight operations in Bhubaneswar were temporarily suspended from 5 p.m. today until 9 a.m. tomorrow due to the impending landfall of cyclonic storm Dana. Kolkata Airport has also announced a similar suspension of flights, halting operations for 15 hours starting at 6 p.m. on Thursday. Congress has also released a first list of 48 candidates for Maharashtra elections. Former Maharashtra Chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan will contest from his bastion of Karad South. Congress State Chief Nana Patole will be Mahavikas Aghadi candidate from Sakoli.
finally, the Congress, kicking off the political campaign. All the top names, as you were talking about, from Prithviraj Chauhan to Nana Patle, the PCC chief, the leader of opposition, Balasaheb Thorat, all being given a ticket, and they have got their list. The Congress will be contesting 85, and then of course the CAC is expected to meet once again tomorrow to finalize another list and hopefully sort out their differences that they are having with the NCP as well as the Shiv Sena on certain seats and resolve that issue. But definitely the Congress setting the stage. As you're well aware, today the NCP also announced the Sharad Pawar campaign, saying that his nephew will be taking on Ajit Pawar. So there is definitely, the battle lines have been drawn for the state of Maharashtra. There are still some issues that need to be resolved, and the Congress, as well as the other interlocutors for the Shiv Sena, as well as for Sharad Pawar, are hoping that they will be sorted out by tomorrow or day after latest.
And Mahayuti leaders Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar today met Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi to seal the seat-sharing deal. In fact, sources say that Home Minister Shah told Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde to prevent Mahayuti rebels from contesting in these elections. Among the allies, the BJP will be contesting on the highest number of seats, between 152 to 155 seats. Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena will be fighting between 78 to 80, and Ajit Pawar, sources say, will be his party, the NCP, will contest between 52 to 54 seats. Remember, the BJP has already announced its candidates for 99 seats so far.
हमारा एजेंडा पक्का है। पिछले 2.5 साल में हमारी सरकार का काम लोगों ने देखा है। जिस गति के साथ हमने काम किया है वो लोगों के नज़रों के सामने है, उसी के ऊपर चुनाव लड़ेंगे।
If all's well and there is harmonious agreement, so will the announcements for all the remaining seats, is it expected soon? Because of course both the sides are racing against time.
Absolutely. The announcement for all seats will happen very soon, and you will see that all three parties will work, as I said, very well together. They will quell any potential rebellion. There is a very smooth coordination between all three parties that is happening. And it's unfortunate that on the MVA side, what developed as an unnatural alliance 5 years ago, purely for the sake of coming to power, is now unraveling into an alliance where there's no coordination, where they're not able to agree on seats. Forget about which seats, even the number of seats that different allies should fight on. And they're in fact bickering in public. So it's an interesting election. And as I said, that it's a difference between a positive agenda, a constructive agenda to take Maharashtra forward, and a negative agenda which was created, an alliance which was created purely for the sake of acquiring power in 2019.
You know, one view is, and this is coming from your political opponents, that if there are no issues in Mahayuti, then why is it that top leaders are rushing to Delhi every other day?
No, look, there is ultimately when there's a national party involved, and I've seen this as having been in a national party, it's but natural that certain decisions are taken at a national level. That's true of MVA as well, where there are discussions happening in Delhi as well within the Congress and the UBT and the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP. But the point I'm making is that there is a smooth coordination between allies in the Mahayuti, in the NDA. There is a constructive agenda that is put forth. There's more organic, it's more of an organic, natural alliance than the MVAs. That's the larger point I'm making. And therefore, there's a smoother coordination between all three parties, which is why you haven't seen any bickering in public, which you have seen in the opposition side. And you will see an announcement faster than you will see in the opposition side in terms of number of seats and specific seats.
Okay, so now that this is the Mumbai-Thane region where announcement is left, where the candidates have not been announced for, is the Shiv Sena Shinde faction looking at the maximum number of seats in this region?
I don't say a major chunk or a minor chunk. I think we'll get our fair share. We are happy with what is being allotted to us. We will give it our best. We had a very good strike rate in the Lok Sabha elections. Our strike rate was certainly higher than our closest competitor, which is the UBT faction of the Shiv Sena. We fought a fewer number of seats, but won more seats, had, as I said, a higher strike rate, higher vote share. So this is something which we will continue to do in the assembly elections. We believe that our strike rate will be significantly higher than our nearest opponent.
And looking at the by-polls now in Uttar Pradesh, the Congress party has decided that it will not be fielding any candidate in the upcoming elections. 10 UP seats go to polls on November 13. The Congress will be supporting all 9 SP candidates. The Congress party has said that the decision has been taken to defeat NDA candidates as a united India bloc.
जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश में 10 में से 9 सीटों पर उपचुनाव का चुनाव आयोग ने ऐलान कर दिया है। उत्तर प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी के सामान्य अध्यक्ष और वहां के सभी वरिष्ठ नेताओं के सुझाव अनुसार आदरणीय कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष से सहमति लेकर हमने निर्णय लिया है कि उत्तर प्रदेश में कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने उम्मीदवार नहीं उतारेगी एवं इंडिया गठबंधन के सभी उम्मीदवारों को एकजुटता के साथ, मजबूती के साथ उनकी विजय के लिए प्रयासरत रहेंगे।
Congress knows that if it will be adamant against Samajwadi Party to get 5 seats out of 9 in Uttar Pradesh, then they have to give Samajwadi Party the seats which are Akhilesh Yadav demanding in Maharashtra. Akhilesh Yadav was in Maharashtra on 19th and 20th, and he said that Samajwadi Party want 12 seats from India Alliance in Maharashtra. And that's why Congress knows that Maharashtra is more important than the by-elections in Uttar Pradesh, because in past 2022 assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, Congress had not won any of the single seat which is going to be going for by polls on 13th November. So in India Alliance in Uttar Pradesh, there is Samajwadi Party and Congress, and both knows that this is an election of prestige, but this election will not impact the government of Yogi Adityanath. And that's why Samajwadi Party was in a conflict with Congress party in Madhya Pradesh, and then Haryana, and then Jammu and Kashmir, and now it's time for Maharashtra. So that's why Akhilesh Yadav spoke to the top leadership of Congress party, and after this talk, Congress decided to support Samajwadi Party on all 9 seats in Uttar Pradesh, and in this way, Congress will be in a position to not give Samajwadi Party the seats which is Akhilesh Yadav expecting in Maharashtra. So there is presently 2 MLAs in Maharashtra which are from Samajwadi Party, and Akhilesh Yadav wants 12 seats. So that's why Congress has taken a decision not to contest in UP, and they will support Samajwadi Party. And in this way, Congress will be in a position to say no to Samajwadi Party in Maharashtra, just like it did in Haryana and other states too.
On that note, we are slipping into a short break. Lots more news and updates on the other side. The President today has officially appointed the new Chief Justice of India. Justice Sanjeev Khanna will become India's 51st Chief Justice of India, formally taking over from Justice Chandrachud. In fact, his name was proposed by the outgoing CJI only last week. And the family dispute in Andhra Pradesh between the former Chief Minister and YSRCP Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy and his sister Sharmila is playing out in full public view. Now, the siblings have said that they are now more of political opponents and legal adversaries.
On a tour to diarrhea-affected areas of Vijayanagaram, YSRCP leader Jagan Mohan Reddy blamed what he called Chandrababu Naidu-controlled media for playing up differences between him and his sister YS Sharmila in order to divert attention away from the real issues of the people.
ఇవన్నీ గర్కి కహానీలు, ఇవన్నీ ప్రతి ఇంట్లో ఉన్న విషయాలే. వీటిని నీ స్వార్థం కోసం వీటిని పెద్దవి చేసి చూపించడం, వీటిలో నిజాలు లేకపోయినా నిజాలను ఇంకారంత ఎక్కువగా వక్రీకరించి చూపించడం, ఇవన్నీ మానుకొని ప్రజల మీద ధ్యాస పెట్టండి అయ్యా.
వాళ్ళ తల్లికి చెల్లెలకి ఇంట్లో గొడవ అయితే కూడా మమ్మల్ని గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు. ఇంకేం చెప్తాం? తల్లిని విషయాన్ని కూడా బజార్లో లాగి మమ్మల్ని గురించి మాట్లాడడం ఏంటండి? మనకేం సంబంధం ఉంది? మీకు సంబంధం ఉందా? కనీసం తండ్రి సంపాదించిన ఆస్తి ఎవరికి వస్తుంది? ఫస్ట్ రైట్ ఎవరికి వస్తుంది? భార్యకు రాదా? భార్య అలాంటి తల్లిని కూడా ఇచ్చేసి దానికి కూడా మనమే కారణం అంటే ఇది దీనికి డైవర్షన్ పాలిటిక్స్. ఎవరు మేము చేస్తున్న డైవర్షన్ పాలిటిక్స్ అది.
The former chief minister had written to his sister and also petitioned the National Company Law Tribunal, alleging that a July 2024 transfer of shares of Saraswati Power by his sister Sharmila to his mother was illegal and must be reversed. He says the shares transferred by his sister had also been attached by investigating agencies probing a disproportionate assets case against him, and his sister's move would be inimical to his case. In his letter, Jagan says Sharmila had already received 200 crore rupees from him and through his mother, that he had signed an MOU in 2019 with an intent to transfer some property that he himself had earned to his sister out of love and affection, but that no sibling love existed any longer between them, as she had brought disrepute to him by attacking him with what he called untruths. In a letter also signed by her mother, Y. Sharmila says their father, Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy, had wanted all his properties to be equally divided between his 4 grandchildren, but alleges that Jagan had bulldozed them and took away more than his share, including in Sakshi Media Group and Bharti Simmons.
అందరి కుటుంబాల్లో అమ్మల మీద చెల్లెల మీద కోర్టులో కేసులు వేసుకుంటారా? కుటుంబంలో సమస్యలు ఉండడం కామనే, కానీ అందరూ ఇట్లా అమ్మ మీదనే కోర్టుకు లాగారు కదా.
Differences between the siblings have been brewing for a few years now. In 2021, Y. Sharmila had launched her own political party in Telangana. Ahead of the 2024 elections, she had merged her party with the Congress, and as Andhra Pradesh State Congress chief, she has been a sharp critic of her brother. The NCLT will hear the case on the 8th of November. Beyond the legal case, there's a political battle and personal feuds. What has caused the rift is, of course, political ambition, dispute over property, and interpersonal differences that have become very difficult to bridge, and that political opponents are bound to take advantage of. With camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
And the Indian High Commissioner to Canada, who was targeted by Justin Trudeau and has since been recalled by New Delhi, reiterated today that not a shred of evidence was shared with him by the Canadian authorities, who labelled him and 5 other diplomats as persons of interest in the murder investigation of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Speaking exclusively to NDTV in his first interview since his return to India, Sanjay Verma said that it was in fact India which had shared detailed evidence of radical and extremist groups operating on Canadian soil with the Justin Trudeau government, but no action was taken on it by either the government or the authorities. Sanjay Verma also revealed that in his last meeting with the Canadian authorities, it came as a surprise to him when he was informed by them that he and his 5 other colleagues were now labelled persons of interest in the murder investigation, and that they were asked that the Indian government should remove their diplomatic immunity.
What about Indian students? I believe we are the largest cohort of international students in Canada. They would have anxious parents. They'd be worried about visas in the future. I was a student in Canadian universities. Both my degrees are from there. What would your message be to all of those, very concerned people back home? Their kids are over there.
What I would say is that their kids should be aware of the surroundings in which they are. They should not be influenced by the outreach from these Khalistani terrorists and extremists, and they should look after themselves well. In Canada at the moment, from these Khalistanis, I think there is a perceived threat to the larger Indian community, including the students' community. And therefore, if they see anything suspicious or they are reached out by someone whom they feel is suspicious, they should immediately report to the law and order authority of their region.
That's an important statement, sir. There is an outreach effort by Khalistani sympathizers in Canada towards Indian students.
Yes.
How does that happen?
So basically how it works is that with the status of the Canadian economy at the moment, the jobs are not being created and many students would go for jobs which are much below what they should be doing. They are unable to meet their ends. And some of these Canada-based and Canadian Khalistani extremists and terrorists will try to allure them by giving them money, by giving them food, and therefore trying to influence them with the kind of nefarious businesses that they are doing. Some of the students get attracted towards that. Then there is another thing which is happening. Some of these students would be asked to get photographed in front of the Indian High Commission in Ottawa or the two consulates, shouting anti-India slogans, desecrating our flag, or doing something which is disrespectful to India, and then they will go and seek asylum because their version will be that if I go back to India now, I'll be punished.
So one way of people seeking asylum would be under the influence of Khalistani extremists. Students would come in front of the High Commission or one of our consulates, do something which insults, our flag, our embassy, our High Commission, etc., and then seek asylum, right? And there have been cases of students like that being granted asylum.
Many such cases. And recently we have also come across some of the cases where Indian nationals who land at the airport, with the visa, Canadian visa, they will not be allowed in. And in a few cases, very few cases, the Canadian authority there will ask them, look, if you file an asylum request, you'll be allowed in. What is this? So there are various kinds of influences which are pushing these students in the wrong direction. So parents, please talk to your children very regularly, try to understand their welfare, give them sane advice so that they don't fall on the wrong side of the society.